What up, YouTube? It's me, ya boy. Hello. This is a different kind of video, requested by one of my fans. Someone I know in real life watches my videos and has requested a video. So, she wanted to know how I do a makeup look that I do. And I was like, oh, I'll send you the video. I copied it off some like makeup YouTuber. I like swore front to back that that's what happened. But then I went to look for it and I was like, I can't find it. So maybe I made up that makeup outfit? Makeup eye look? So here we are. I'm gonna tell you about, I'm gonna do it, but I probably should have something to talk about because I'm not interesting. So I'm gonna tell you about one of my favorite movies, which is not good, but it's not bad. It's not worthy of like one of my like full like rant videos because it's just it's mainly just incompetent, and I think that's partially low budget issues as well. So I'm gonna tell you about Enchanted Mountain while I make my eyes rainbow. Okay, so my setup is a little hand mirror and my lamp and my cell phone, so please forgive all of this. Also, I just finished doing a play, so there's actually glitter all over my face and this lips as well, and I'm tired as all hell because I mean the play is actually really good, and even though I'm working with children, I think they're just great kids. I mean, some of them are like teenagers, so they're not like kids, but they're just, I'm not just saying that because some of them are watching. I genuinely do think it's just so great to work with them. They're such wonderful young people. And everyone in the play and in that play community is just like so wonderful to work with. But it's still a play. I'm still performing in front of people. It's still exhausting and I'm so tired. But I'm doing this now because yeah, I just kind of wanted to. Okay, so graceful and elegant. So we start off with putting concealer on our eyes because that makes the colours pop. I did actually get that from a makeup YouTuber, but I left my concealer at the playhouse. So we're gonna put the foundation on our eyes, and we're gonna hope that that works. Oh, first of all, I'm gonna put this is, well, that probably comes up backwards because it's just a phone camera. But that's Paula's Choice Shine Stopper, because I'm super oily and the lamp is unforgiving. You can see all this shine, and I just feel like it's super distracting if I light up the screen like Rudolph with just my naturally oily face. So we're just gonna put on some of that. So I stumbled across Enchanted Mountain, and I can't remember how I stumbled across it. I might have been looking for that Titanic animated movie, I think the one with the rapping dog in it. Or possibly the one with the octopus. Are those the same one or different ones? I've not actually seen it, so I don't know. It's definitely the one with the octopus, which may or may not have the rapping dog in it. Yes, there are two animated Titanic movies, and I have yet to been able to see either of them. So I think I was looking for it on YouTube, and I came across its sequel, I think, But I think I watched Enchanted Mountain first. Um, so, how's that looking? How's that looking? I can't see because I'm short-sighted, so I have a mirror, but I can't I can't see in it because it's blurry. So I'm gonna use the less magnified, but actually visible to my useless eyeballs phone camera. So this is very professional. I'm a proper makeup YouTuber. Please subscribe, like, smash that like button, leave a comment about how much you enjoyed this. um, so I put Enchanted Mountain on, and I was blown away from the get-go. Honestly, the first line spoken in this movie it draws you in. It draws you in its delivery, in the chosen accent of the character that does not fit with the setting. It's just a rich tapestry of brilliance.
Phew, it's hot.
So on one eye, I'm going to put purple here, and on the other, I'm going to go for like a sort of unifying gold color, and we're going to see which one looks better, because I still haven't decided which I prefer, to sort of tie in the rainbow. So this is BYS eyeshadow palette festival. I got it in Australia. It's fun. It's kind of, it's not low quality, but I got a higher quality eyeshadow, so I realized this is not high quality. But it works. Oh my gosh. All my brushes are at the Playhouse, so this is a real, this is a nightmare scenario. It's a nightmare scenario, guys. Nightmare scenario. All my brushes are gone. We're gonna use this brush, because I can. And we're gonna take this purple. That one. This is what makeup YouTubers do. I am a professional. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Feed the algorithm so that people watch my videos, and then I can afford to buy proper equipment. So this one we're gonna go, I'm gonna sweep that over there. Real good, like, real just like in a beautiful, very smooth arch. And like kind of into like the crease, I guess. Yeah. So this one doesn't have to be too strong of a color, because it's sort of like a backdrop for the rainbow. But like, you can do whatever you want. I'm not stopping you. Where is my other eyeshadow palette? It is somewhere under my butt. Can't find it, so we're gonna use this other one instead. So this is Folklore. This is a highlighter palette. This is the eyeshadow palette I want. This is Folklore. I buy all my lipsticks like this from Folklore. That looks bad. That looks bad, actually, so this side looks good. So Enchanted Mountain is based, I found out, it's based on a fairy tale or folklore tale, in which it's a typical sort of boy meets girl, some sort of condition, keeps magical girl around. She's a fairy. Her wings are stolen. I think in the original they're stolen by him. In the movie they are stolen by a deer that gets injured and he saves, and it's so grateful to him that it's like, oh, I'm gonna help you kidnap a woman to be your wife. As deers often do. And then, you know, they have children. There's a magical condition. He's got to wait until they have 3 children, and then she can't leave. But he loves her so much and trusts her so much that he's like, here are your wings. And they've only had 2 children. She's like, all right, bye. I'm out. And then he goes to the Sky Kingdom and he wins her back, but he drops hot porridge on his horse, and then he loses her and turns into a rooster. And that's why the rooster cries, because it's like, oh, my wife. I love fairy tales. So this is, you know, has gone through that movie-fication process of fairy tales, like all the Disney fairy tales and things. So it's a little less that. Like I said, there's a deer who kidnaps him. Helps him kidnap this woman, and he doesn't know. He's not in on the kidnapping. He's a good guy. His name is either Woodal or Mudal, and I'm not sure if it's me not being able to hear the accents of all the different people voice acting, or if they just couldn't decide, or if it's like one of those mixed sounds that like my English speaking ears just can't pick up on, because it is originally a Korean tale. So I found this story. Oh, this is red. If you want to Google the rainbow, don't be ashamed. That's what I have to do. That just goes there, and you want to sort of like dab it on. This is not the right brush for this, but we gon' make do. You don't want to go too far into the eyelid, because you still got to fit orange, yellow, green, and blue onto your eyelid. So build that bad boy up. Just keep dabbing, dabbing that color on till you're red in the eyeballs, like you've got some sort of an infection. As far as I got this on the YouTube channel Mondo World, and as far as I can tell, Mondo World takes animated movies from non-English speaking countries, and even some English speaking countries, but they all seem to be from like different studios. They're all different styles, and it dubs them in every single language. It has so many YouTube channels. You can see it. They've got Mondo World Arabic, Mondo World Espanol, Mondo World Deutsch. If it's a language, they've dubbed it. Enchanted Mountain really feels like, to me, it feels like it was dubbed in a weekend by whoever got the rights is like family and friends. They're like, can you just come around and record this audio, please? Because some of the voice acting is, fantastically atrocious. It's like these people have never voice acted before in their lives, and you can tell. And other parts, there was a clear mistake in the recording, and I guess they didn't have time to re-record it. You got people being like, and they leave it in. It's in the actual movie.
It'll be getting dark soon.
That's how I clean my brushes. You spin it off, and then you fleck it off. It's clean. Right, I'm going to take this. This is a great brush. This was from a Babe box from Folklore, and I just love it. It's real soft, and it gets so much product onto it. So I'm going to take this orange. This orange here. Just dab the brush in. Dab the brush in. And we're going to put it there. Because it goes red, orange, yellow, and one time I did this, and I was like, red, yellow, and then I was like, wait, isn't there another color? So there's a duck as well. The deer drives me mad. I hate the deer's voice.
I know. Why don't we take her out to the meadow too? Because the nearer is the piece of wood to the flames, the faster it burns.
The nearer is the pizza wall to the flames. What are you talking about?
I know it, my friend.
I don't like it. It creeps me out. It's annoying. The deer is a creepy creeperson. And the duck, the duck swings between, like, actual duck noises and the voice actor just going quack, 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 quack. And it's jarring. And then sometimes they just didn't allow enough time, and you get, like, people stringing stuff together just really, really quickly. Like,
He gave me hospitality. He lives with his mother who treated me like a daughter. They fed me. They taught me how to work in the fields.
little bit of orange on that bad boy. Yeah, boy. I don't know how to describe this movie other than let's just show you the whole thing. Actually, one of my, like, first and, like, my most popular YouTube videos is actually just me taking the best bits of Enchanted Mountain because I just want people to watch it. Please watch this film. Watch it with friends. You know, bad movies are always great to watch with friends. And I don't think it was very good in the original, but the dubbing, the poor dubbing really makes it even better. I think one of my favorite parts about Enchanted Mountain is how people will say something and then someone will immediately contradict them.
How can anyone survive down there? There's no one you can trust.
That's not right. There might be nice people and...
How is Moudal? Is he better?
He's better, Your Majesty. No, he isn't better.
It's so small, but it's like, did you not script this? There's also a fully Korean musical number. It is the only musical number in the entire movie. It goes on for way too long, and they've left it in the original Korean for the English dub. I can't imagine it felt right in the original language, because again, it is the only musical number, but it definitely takes you, like, aback when you're watching it in English and you're just like, oh yeah, watching an animated movie, and then suddenly all these women start singing in completely different voices, really really beautiful, actually, like, deep Korean women's voices, but takes you by surprise. You didn't expect it. Green time. Green. This one. The story. Let's talk about the story. So Moudal really heckin' loves Kumkang Mountain. He just cannot get enough of that mountain. And it's just him and his mum, I think, living on the mountain. But it's a sacred mountain. He takes care of it. You're not allowed to hunt on it, all that jazz. And some magical hunter dude is hunting on the mountain. Moudal's like, hey, stop that. And the dude's like, and then floats off, which I did not expect. I really had no expectations coming into this movie. So that, when I tell you that took me by surprise, it took me by surprise. And then we go into the Sky Kingdom and we discover that the Emperor of Heaven has, I think they're his daughters. He's got 7 beautiful daughters. They're fairies. There's some weird, unnatural banter between everyone. I'd like to shower in the pools of Mount Kumkang. Weird pauses, because again, the dubbing was just done in an afternoon with no scripting, so they just kind of did their best to translate on the fly and dub as they went. I don't blame these people for not having the time they needed and for not having the experience, but it sure does, like, it's like if I dubbed a movie with my friends, it wouldn't be good, but I'd be okay with people enjoying it for its badness. And the fairies go down to swim in the pools of Mount Kumkang once a month on the full moon. They go have a bath. They stanky. They can only bathe once a month, so, like, rough. Anyway, so they go down, they have a musical number, and during the musical number is when that naughty deer, goddamn deer, I hate it, is like, oh, time to kidnap a woman, time to force a woman to stay here against her will, and then trick her into marrying my friend. Gets the duck to unwittingly, like, get involved. He's like, hey, duck, let's get Moudal to the mountain so that he can meet this woman who's, half naked in a swimming pool. And then she's gonna be like, I got nowhere to stay. And he's gonna be like... And that is what happens. She thinks he's a creepy murder man. And she's like, I'm just gonna... Just leave me here. I'm gonna chill under this rock for the night. And he's like, girl, you can't get in. She's like, oh, fine. The creepy hunter dude has some sort of weird plan. I think in the original, he wanted to marry the girl who gets kidnapped. She's the most beautiful of the perfectly identical 7 sisters. And he wants his son, in the dub, he wants his son to marry her, and then his son will be emperor, and he'll be the father of the emperor, and presumably having a good time. You see what I mean by, like, this not being, like, very good? My eyes weren't particularly clean before, but, like, this is all the fallout from this eyeshadow, so it's not the highest quality stuff. Oh, by the way, I used this purple on the end here, so it's different to the one we put up here. You just bring that around, rounds out the rainbow underneath your eye. Pull that bad boy. Stab myself. You stab yourself in the eyeball. It's all part of the look. It's a really vital step. Don't skip it. So he's thinking about his son marrying this girl, and he's pulling this face.
Now, if I could marry my son off to Arang, the Emperor's favourite, he'd end up being the Emperor's son-in-law, which would make me...
Which really leads me to think that he wants him to marry her, but he doesn't know how to go about it. So he just kind of gives up and watches beautiful women have a bath because his life is just so bad. Anyway, what's her name? Ah, dang. Arang. She lives with Moudal and his mum. Hijinks ensue. First of all, she's suspicious of them, and then she realizes that they're really nice people. She learns how to weave and work in the field. There's some cute moments, and, you know, emotions and feelings ensue. The Emperor, meanwhile, is real mad. He's like, hey, that was my most beautiful daughter. She was my favorite daughter. What? Why would you leave her down there? And the dude who wants to have his son marry into the royal family is like, this is not the way. He goes down to Mount Kunkang, and at this time, the duck has discovered what the deer did and has guilted the deer into revealing where Arang's wings are, and she finds them, and there's a bit of a misunderstanding. It's not a very good misunderstanding, it's not handled very well, but I believe the intention is, she's like, no, I want to stay here. Moudal thinks she wants to go, and she ends up being taken against her will. Once her wings are put on her, she gets thrown into the Sky Kingdom. Once that rainbow comes down, they got their wings on. The fairies have no choice. Straight into the Sky Kingdom. So she's disappeared, and Moudal and his mum are like, oh, sadness. But then Moudal's like, you know what? I love her. So he goes up to the Sky Kingdom. Somehow. I think he goes up in the giant bucket they use. That's right. So the Emperor has decided no more, okay? I'm not losing any more daughters. Let me go clean out my fallout. The Emperor's like, no more. I'm not losing any more daughters to kidnappings or accidental wing loss or whatever. They're only allowed to take a bath, but Arang can't take a bath because she's in prison. So she was taken against her will, and now she's in prison. It's not explained. I assume it's because she's in love and she's like, I want to go back, and the Emperor's like, no, you're staying here. Of like a full-on aerial situation. This is revealed to us through the funniest dialogue.
I'm afraid your friend Arang won't be able to take a bath today.
Arang is in prison.
I don't think that's someone's normal voice, but that's the voice they went with, and it's just so like, she can't take a bath because she's in prison. So then in your inner corner, you just want to put like a light color, like a white, like a highlighter or something, because that's what the beauty YouTubers do. So it's what I do. Might make your eyes bigger, it might draw attention to your eyes, might just be the fashion. I don't know, but I do it. I got this sex. I got this from my mum. It's got a nice white there. So, take a little, this brush. That can be my corner brush. And Arang tells her sisters that actually there was some nice people and they were really nice to her and she's in love and maybe they could let her out of prison. But they're like, Dad said everyone there was horrible and you're locked up. And they need a bath, right? It's been a full month. The full moon's back. They got stanky pits. It's bath time. But they're not allowed to go back to Mount Kungkang. So instead, because they are a kingdom in heaven, they send down these golden buckets to pull water up, and they will have a bath amongst the clouds. And that's how Mudal gets up. He hides. And that's it. That's it, by the way. You don't have to listen to the rest of this video if you don't want to. That's how you do it. You just put the colours on. I guess I could finish my face for you if you want. Do you want? You don't know. I can't hear you. You probably have an idea, but I can't hear you. I can't be biffed though, so the rest of this is just going to be me talking to you. You can, if you wanted to, you could put black there, you know, put on a wing or something, but my thick eyeliner is dead and my thin eyeliner is at the playhouse, so this is it. Anyway, so Budal goes up and he's all like, can I please come into heaven? And they're like, oh. So they release a dragon, and he just heckin' punches that in the face. He's just like, you know what? And then he rides it, and it's honestly epic. There's some music again, which really jarringly takes you out of it, but you know, I can dig it. It is epic. It's pretty gets me in the mood for a man punching a dragon and then riding it. And so the Emperor's like, oh, alright. I like a man who can punch. So he brings him in, and he's like, well done, you're very brave. And Mudal's like, thanks, I love Arang. And the Emperor's like, alright. And they talk about it, and I don't know. They talk about it, and what happens is the Emperor's like, well, you can marry Arang, you can be you know, my heir, but you have to stay here. And Mudal's like, I really love Mount Kumkang. I can't live anywhere else. And the Emperor tricks him into painting Mount Kumkang, and via the painting, he magics Mount Kumkang into the Sky Kingdom. And Mudal's like, this is not right. So he's going to play his magic flute through his love for Mount Kumkang. He's going to flute it back to its rightful place. It might not be a magic flute. I think it's just a normal flute, but he's just that good of a flautist that he can flute a mountain back against, like, the Sky Emperor's super magic. So if you love a mountain, you love a mountain. But the evil guy knows that Mudal's going to do this, so he's poisoned it. And through blowing into the flute, Mudal will ingest the poison. Anyway, we get a really funny bit where Orang's all like, no, don't play the flute, it's poison. And Mudal's like, I don't care, I love Mount Kumkang. So it goes, for Mudal, it's really Mount Kumkang, then Orang. But, yeah, he punched a dragon for her, so, yeah, I'd take it. Mudal falls ill, almost dies. Orang faints, and there's really clunky you know, in, like, really bad dubs or bad children's movies where they just have characters talking over each other because they didn't time it right. This movie's got it.
What's going on? Is she feeling bad too? Take her away.
She's like crying. She's inconsolable. The Emperor's like, yeah, we'll get you a new boyfriend. Don't you even worry about it. But someone heals Wudao, and the evil dude gets kicked out. Happily ever after. I think a narrator comes in right at the end randomly to tell us, and they had 3 beautiful children that lived happily ever after. Anyway, so the story's fairly wild, but it's wild in a normal fairy tale way. It's not really the story that is the crazy part. Enchanted Mountain is special. It's special to me. It never fails to crack me up because it's a combination of the voice acting, the way the dubbing happened, the obvious disconnect between the original Korean and this badly done dub. The animation is not great as well, and it just all culminates in something that's like subpar, but in the most beautiful way. And I recommend checking it out. I recommend checking out Mondo World as well, because I actually think the idea of getting all these stories from around the world and spreading them even further around the world, that's actually, like, that's a nice thing to do. So, like, you know, don't go there and be like, oh, this is so bad. It's like, you know what? It brought joy to my life, and there are comments underneath it of people being like, oh, I loved this story when I was a kid. I'm so happy for this story. So, even though I kind of joke about it, it's important to some people, and I'm sure I'm certain there are movies from my childhood which are not good, but I heckin' loved, so this is for them. Also, I watched a few of their other things. They've got some Jungle Books, they got some Bible stories, I watched the movie, which was a culmination of a series about, like, actual angels and demons, but, like, in high school angel and demons, learning how to angel and demon, and they are assigned a high schooler each, and one angel and demon fall in love, and the movie ends with them finding this tunnel, and they have to go through it together as a couple, and they'll come out of it mortal, I think. And the person who's guarding it was an angel who was like, yeah, no, we failed, don't do it. But the movie ends with them going through it, so it's like, I really need to, like, see if there's more. I want to know what happened to those. I'm rooting for them. It was bad. Like, the demons made people, the devils or whatever, they made people do bad things like litter, and the angels made them do nice things like say please and thank you. Real basic. And they also have the sequel to the Titanic animated movie with the octopus. And the sequel has almost nothing to do with the original Titanic movie. It has the original characters. Some of the animals can now talk when they couldn't talk before. Oh no, they can talk to the humans when they couldn't talk to the humans before. But now they're just talking back and forth. Whatever. And I think at the end of that movie, everyone survives the Titanic. And these guys are just going down in a submarine to find the remains of the Titanic. But no time has passed. Would they have the technology to submarine down to the Titanic? But that's just the beginning of the movie. That's just the premise to get them down there. Once they're down there, they are attacked by sharks. They almost die, but then Atlanteans kidnap them and force them to take a potion while they're unconscious. That means that they can breathe underwater, but they can never live on the surface world forever again. Also, they're going to live forever. And they're trapped there now. They are held against their will by Atlantis, and Atlantis is populated by toys. Yes, that's the sequel to Titanic. Please check out Enchanted Mountain. That one is my personal favorite, but I definitely think that the Atlantis one is it's just crazy after crazy after crazy. Like, every single decision along the way takes you aback, like, okay! It is a wild time, and I recommend it. Cool, I have to tidy my room now, so bye! Oh, someone wanted a jingle about sofas, so let's have my end card be a jingle about sofas. Oh, sofas, they are comfy and I like to sit on them with my butt, 'cause they are softer than a chair and I lie down on them. Sofas are nice. Sofas